Hello everyone, I'm going to be doing a tier list for you. About every single one of the people I'm subscribed to have been doing tier lists, whether it be fast food, movies, books, Sane transformations, animes, etc., etc. And I figure, you know what, if they're all making tier lists, I might as well jump on the train and make a tier list of my own. I download this program to record my screen. I don't know how to do the little webcam in the corner, so you can just hear my voice for this video. And I'm at work right now, so if the phone rings or something, I will pause the video and continue on. So there might be some hiccups in the audio depending on what happens. So I went to the website and I searched Crash Bandicoot, and there were a couple different ones. This one has the most games on it. A bunch of the other ones were missing a lot of the games. So without further ado, let's get into it. I have separated them into platformer, party, and then kart racer. So right off the bat, Crash Bandicoot 1, I would give that a solid A. Starting the franchise, you only had jump and spin, but with the limited amount of abilities, it was just a great start to the franchise. Crash Bandicoot 2 expanded upon almost everything. You got more abilities, more collectibles, and there was little cutscenes in between each warp room after you collected the crystals. I would like to give it's really hard between S and A, but I'm gonna have to give it an A. So 1 and 2 are solid A's. So then we come to Crash 3, and I promise I'm not a Naughty Dog fanboy. I like all Crash games. I'll give them all a chance. I'm not just gonna give all of the Naughty Dogs high ratings just because it's Naughty Dog. I'm not like that. I honestly think they deserve the rankings they're getting. So Crash Bandicoot Warp is going to be getting the first S rank. Crash Warped, I played with my neighbor. We got all the platinum relics. It was so much fun, and I have real nostalgia for it. I've played it again recently on the next entry in our list. If Crash Warped got an S, and this game contains Crash Warped, obviously itself is also going to get an S. So I've played that game. It's just loads of fun. You have the original 3 games remastered. They added the relics to everything. It's so much fun. And if you're a Crash Bandicoot fan and you haven't picked this game up yet, I highly recommend it. So now we're going to stray away from Naughty Dog right now. Obviously, we'll get back to it when we get to Crash Team Racing, but we're still in the platformers. So, Wrath of Cortex was, honest to God, Crash Bandicoot Warped, but watered down with worse loading times and terrible character models. Like, from what I've understood from the production, they were rushed to get it out at a certain date, and they had to cut a lot of content, and it shows. This game could have easily been B tier, maybe even A if they added all the stuff like the elemental crates and mini bosses and stuff, but because it's a rushed product, down to a C, unfortunately. Then we're moving on to Twinsanity. This game had tons of content cut as well. I believe it was called Crash Bandicoot Evolution. But even with all the content cut, I know I'm going to get yelled at because most people put this way higher up on their list. I'll give it a solid B. It had good humor. I loved the acapella soundtrack, but unfortunately it had unskippable cutscenes. So if you got to certain points and you kept dying, it would keep making you watch the same cutscene over and over and over. Okay, so now we're moving on to the Radical games. Crash of the Titans, the console version. This was a solid game. It changed to beat 'em up, and you had to take control over the mutants. So it changed up the gameplay. It wasn't a bad game by any means. I would probably give it. I'd give it a B. It deserves a B. And it's worth noting that Crash captures the mutants and he rides them, much like Mario captures with the hat Cappy. Crash innovates and creates, and the fandom. I gotta shrink up the. No, never mind. I lost my train of thought. Oh yeah. Point being, Crash didn't create, but he did popularize this gameplay. And because it wasn't Naughty Dog, everyone, oh, it's terrible, terrible. But then Mario does it years and years later, and it's the best thing in the world. That's just worth mentioning. So then we got the DS game. The DS game, it was a C. I'd give it a C. No, it deserves a C. The Game Boy Advance version of it, though, that was definitely Garbo. That's a D. Then we got Mind Over Mutant. This game was a lot of fun, but it suffered from not being able to have the mutants with you at all times. You'd have to travel to different parts of the map to get a specific mutant, and then go to the other side of the map to do a challenge to get one of the voodoo dolls, which were the unlockables. So, there were some warp areas, but for the most part, there was a lot of backtracking. So and the thing was, it wasn't even fun backtracking. It was tedious. So I would give that. It would have been a B, but it gets a C. Then its DS version, that gets straight up D. That game had laugh soundtracks. It wasn't a solid game. It was just bad. Then we go to the handheld platformers, and we've got the Huge Adventure. That was a solid game. I'd give it an A. It deserves an A. It was the first handheld game that you could take Crash with you on the go, as far as platformers go, and it was loads of fun. It felt like Crash 2, but side scrolling. They had the same abilities. Same goes for Entrance. 2 Entrance. I would put that. It's kind of. We'll put it on B. It wasn't quite as good as the first one, but it was a solid game. Now that brings us to Crash Bash. We're into the party game territory now. Crash Bash, as an adventure game, not all that fun. Unlocking certain things was tedious. Getting the trophies, the trophies were easy, but getting the relics and the gems. I remember you have to do it on hard mode 4 times in a row or 3 times in a row to get a certain relic. It just wasn't fun. And this game goes to 200%, not 100%. So you're in it for the long haul. And some of the challenges were they were N.Sane. Haha, pun. But anyway, I'd probably give Bash, if we were just rating it as a party game overall, it's very fun with your friends. So we'll give it a B. Crash Purple, it's immediately D. Crash Purple, they probably should have had Spiral Orange on this list as well. But Crash Purple, it's literally just shovelware with a Crash skin thrown on top. It was the crossover that we all wanted for years and years and years. Crash and Spyro, and then when it gets here, massive disappointment. Okay. Boom Bang. Boom Bang was another anniversary game. I believe it came out 2006. It wasn't as good as Bash, but it was better than Purple. So we'll give it a C. It reintroduced Tawna. She was gone for a long time. And it made Polar and Purah into anthropomorphic characters with genes. There was a lot of different boards. You could get collectibles to help you out It was fun. Okay, now we're on to the racers. I cannot. This Crash Team Racing, automatically an S. Crash Team Racing is probably in my top 3 games of all time. I love Crash Team Racing. I could play that game every day for the rest of my life. It's so fun. It's just, it's hard to describe how much I like it without just repeating. It's good, I love it, but it's good and I love it, and I cannot wait until Nitro Fueled comes out because it looks like it's taking this gem and adding so much content to it. Oh, I can't wait. That'll be out in less than a month, and I already have the Oxide version pre-ordered, so I'm going to be playing that. Okay. Then we got the Crash Nitro Kart console version. It tried to be CTR, but the controls were loose. The challenges weren't as fun. The only thing that I liked, well, I shouldn't say the only thing. The main thing I liked about this game was the anti-gravity portions and the cutscenes. The cutscenes were hilarious, and I loved them. And the anti-gravity portions, they were fun. And it's like I said about Crash of the Titans, how Odyssey kind of piggybacked off that idea. Crash Nitro Kart had anti-gravity years and years before Mario Kart 8 did. Not to knock Mario Kart 8, because that's a fantastic game too, but it just goes to show, if it's not made by Naughty Dog, people will just not even acknowledge it. So that was that. The Game Boy Advance version of this, I'd give it a C. You could unlock the boss characters, and Spyro was in this game. Okay, now this one, I'm sure I'm gonna get a lot of hate on this one, but I like this game a lot, and I would give that a solid A. It's almost an S in my opinion. You have the comedy, you have the skins, you have the dioramas, you have all the playable characters, you have platforming sections, you've got racing sections. It's just an overall enjoyable game. And if you have not played this one, I highly recommend it. There's a PSP version which is almost identical to this. But okay. And now that leaves us with these last 2 games. They're mobile games. I downloaded and played this one a couple times. It's all gyroscope games. They're gyroscope controls, and I can honestly say that it was not my cup of tea. So I would definitely put that in D tier. I think I'm decent at video games, and it was very hard to get first place in these. And then I don't even think I've ever played this one. And it's not nice to put it in D tier, but if this is anything similar to that one, then yeah, it's not a good game. But anyway, that's my tier list. So you got Warped, N.Sane Trilogy CTR as S's, Crash 1, Crash 2, and then Huge Adventure and CTTR as A's, Twinsanity, Crash of the Titans, and Trance, Bash, and the console version of Nitro Kart as B's, Wrath of Cortex, DS of the Titans, Mind Over Mutant console, Boom Bang, and Nitro Kart Game Boy Advance are C's. And then on the bottom we got D. We got the Advanced Titans, the DS, Mind Over Mutant, Purple, and then the 2 mobile games. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you like it, thumbs up and subscribe, and if you want more, just let me know in the comments. Okay, have a good evening. Bye-bye.